What's going on, everybody? This is Jordan with Conquer Trading and Investing. Right now I'm recording on a Friday afternoon. I want to do something a little bit different with you all today. This is very important to me. Gene went ahead and sent me this note over here. Gene, obviously a very important part of the community, as you all are. What we have done in 2020 is nothing less than extraordinary. This place is so special, and I know that everyone that's involved with it knows that. It's very, very unique, very, very special, and at the end of the day, it just simply provides an enormous amount of value. And that's why, and that's what makes it so special, as well as everyone's attitude, everyone's growth mindset, everyone's positivity, the way that we support each other, and you can see the insight that everyone shares continues to grow and grow and grow, just lifting the whole community. Gene went ahead and wrote me, and he made some observations. I want to share them with you because it's very interesting to me. You see, I have enormous plans for conquering the markets in 2021. I don't know really what God has planned, but I do know that we have some big plans, and I see it unfolding. And I think that right over here, what he's saying, it plays a role in it. And I want to share it with you to follow the conversation, to see what your thoughts are, to develop a conversation around this. Now, the thoughts that Gene said was, listen, and it's titled Supply and Demand, and I'm interested in that. It's not something that I gravitate towards. It's not something that I would really describe as the way that I trade, so therefore I'm very interested to know what your comments are. Now, Gene went on to say, he says, it seems to me that Real Vision probably brushed you off or was otherwise dismissive. What he's talking about is Raul Pal on Twitter reached out to the community and he was like, listen, who would you like to see on Real Vision to talk about Bitcoin? And out of nowhere, you all just responded, blowing up Twitter, responding that you all would like to see me. You believe that I've added enormous value, that my view on the cycle of Bitcoin brings great value to the conversation. And he didn't even acknowledge it. And it wasn't just one or two people. It was a lot of you. And I do appreciate that support. But he's saying, listen, it was probably because you didn't have a goofy hat or a branded GMI thesis. And this is what Gene is really hitting at over here. He's like, listen, your hook, the best technical analysis around, right? Or stay on the right side of the market. And both those things are true, right? In my opinion, right? Both those things are absolutely true in my opinion. He goes on to say, listen, but Jordan has no thesis, right? This is an edge which keeps you nimble. And that's one of the most important things, right? I make a living on the 8 hour. That's where I spend my time. I'm not tied down to anything. Whatever the market is showing me, that's where I want to be involved. But it doesn't necessarily create hours of interviewed material. Of course, Gene is dead on over here. A lot of those guys who get attention have a thesis and present it in a compelling way with some data. They have an investment strategy around that thesis. They factor in some hedges and hope they are right. They get interviewed to get people on board and try to make it fulfill itself to the extent possible, or sell some other thing. And it's what I call the great macro scam. It's the great macro scam. You know, you just go ahead and you pick a thesis, and it doesn't even matter if you're off by 7 years. You could be like, look, I was right, right? So anyway, he goes on to say, point B, I don't care if my thesis is right. He's talking about me. I just want to be on the right side of the trade, right? You all know in a heartbeat, I'll admit I was wrong. I don't need to be right. I just want to be on the right side. I want to know what is correct. This is what makes your approach special. Thank you. Macro is interesting and you want to hear both sides of the argument. Absolutely. But at the end of the day, an investor needs to face the facts. Price is the fact, right? Price is everything. Price is guided by the market psychology and supply and demand. Here he's hitting on that supply and demand again. Technical analysis works because of the market psychology, yes, and supply and demand. I know you don't care about the why, but I think you need to care, at least a little, about this why. And this is what I'm very interested in. Right? This is where why I would like to see your thoughts on all this. When I say you, I mean you here listening right now. You taking the time, you who are essential to this community. What are your thoughts on that? You're right. The way that I'm programmed, I want to know what is. It's one of my strengths. But I'm also interested in the why, but I don't have that mind to really figure out the why. I need a little bit of help. right? Someone to explain it to me. Supply and demand is the linchpin and why your technical analysis can keep you on the right side of the trade. Macro backdrop may be a tailwind to help you focus, right, on which markets and instruments, right, have the most alpha. But at the end of the day, it's all baked into the price. 100%, Gina. I mean, Gina's just laying it down so clear, so importantly. Market psychology and supply and demand. I think he's getting at what this is, maybe what my thesis is. I don't know. I need some help. Is the underpinning of this, no, he's not, is the underpinning of the stock to flow model, okay? Bitcoin is the only thing close to a thesis you have, but it is underpinned by your expertise in technical analysis, underpinned by an understanding of market psychology and supply and demand. No stale macro thesis to anchor you down, right? Going back to being nimble. I need to be nimble. Otherwise, I'm going to end up on the wrong side of the trade. No paper hats, no side businesses, shilling gold eagles. Big shout out to Peter Schiff, right? You are a battle-tested trader. There's nothing truer than that. Who has deep understanding of price action. Absolutely correct, thank you. A curiosity for the market psychology and underpinnings of supply and demand. And seeks to understand the macroeconomic factors which could drive the market. You don't tear other people down or start beefs. You hate when you see some of these inflexible characters lead people who trust them to several years of pain, which is of course true. Just some thoughts, and I'm grateful for them. Really, if you're still listening, if you like what we're doing over here, if you really understand what we're creating and the magnitude of it, right? It is special. And you want to help out, please continue this conversation down below. I think it's important for conquering the markets overall. And I would like to learn and understand more. So everyone, have a beautiful weekend. If I don't speak to you, we're doing a live stream on Monday, right? And I hope to wish you all absolutely happy holidays, a blessed Christmas then. But I will be there, but if you're not, I hope you and your family have a wonderful time together, and I'll talk to you soon.